Hello, Aries. This is Ron, the clairvoyant from the channel Tarot of the Twin Sun. I will be your clairvoyant for this reading. What I wanted to help you with, or potentially give some advice with, is the complexion of the cards and how they represent in a potential way any sort of leanings or dealings with potential partners and relationships, dear Aries. We are moving from, in the month of July, Gemini energy into a bit more of Cancer energy. Therefore, there is a shift towards emotional emotional content and contents that come in the form of a bottling effect. Okay? It's a type of mechanism that many Aries that I am familiar with are and have practiced with their way of dealing with love. Now, we are going to figure out a potential partner, your relationship to them, how you are with them, how they are with you, and where there are blockages or releases, or basically the balance, if there is a balance between you and this potential other. Okay? I will be working with the Aleister Crowley deck. That's a very good deck from 1986. And I find it very reliable in my readings, so I will definitely use that energy to explain a bit more about your relationship. This is for Aries singles, by the way. These cards would like to see what kind of balancing act comes from an offer of love for Aries, July 2019. Interesting. Offer of love is balanced by the Four of Swords energy combined with Gemini energy, Three of Cups energy. So there's a mixture of resting and relaxation and replay, and also there might be a potential for a type of commitment in the air, even though there's a lot of sort of emotional presence for you, dear Aries. Potential love offer, or potential creation of a relationship or sustaining a relationship with someone with a lot of water in their chart. Also earth's coming out, the type of balancing of communication, balancing of a type of give and take in any relationships, potential or otherwise. Interesting. Okay, what we are dealing with here, Aries, with your relationship sector is certainly the Three of Cups energy in reverse. It came up in reverse. Now, this is the product of your mind acting so much that it has created heartbreak between you and a potential other. I see a revisiting of old flame energy here, and it may come in the form of Mercury retrograde, bringing partners from the past into the present. There certainly is history here, and it is a history in the making and also beyond that. And there seems to be a sense of moving on and towards the Four of Swords energy, which is what we saw earlier throughout the deck, as a time of rest and contemplation and meditation. However, with the Three of Swords energy, there still is something lingering in your heart space. There may have been a creation or a synthesis of armoring a type of stratifying a structure around your heart space, and also potentially, not to get vulgar, but there is some trauma in your base chakra that needs to be released of mental anguish and mental psychological sort of hurt that has been caused there through the act or the force of the forces of nature. Okay, not to get too obscure, basically what I'm saying is that well, there's heartbreak, but there's a moving on from the heartbreak, and because of the three, it may have indicated third-party energy, not necessarily true. I mean, there could be essentially two sides of you that are fighting within the mind that have created a type of focal point for pain within the heart, and you might have been heartbroken, or you might have broken hearts recently, and there is a type of shelling and a type of defensive reaction to creating a heart space that is more protected, perhaps bottled up, and perhaps ready for moving on into something more good for you, Aries. Now let's clarify this. Why is the Three of Cups here in reverse, please? Side jumper. Okay, interesting. This came up, the Two of Cups, this came up as not exactly positive or negative in terms of polarity, neither. So it came up sideways. And it seems to me that there is a love situation that you might be trying to even out in terms of its capacity to provide you with new horizons. There certainly is a connection, and there is a soulmate / twin energy to this connection, and it seems like someone or both parties may have been burned recently in a way. So this is simultaneously your gift and your curse as it comes to bringing in sort of the calmness of unification, as indicated by the blue sky here, and the groundedness and the sort of earthing that comes from the green pasture. There may be a possibility that during the month of July that you might be searching for a balance between the grass and the possibility for sort of peace more than anything between you and this potential other. What form it comes in, I will go ahead and clarify. How is Aries going to reach? Oh, interesting, the sun came out. That's good. Sun coming out indicating your ego being refortified and general sort of feeling of goodness. Also Leo energy. There's air here, and there's also a bit of Venus here. So potentially Libra. I'm seeing Libra, potentially Cancer as well. Okay, interesting. So why is the Two of Cups in horizontal position? Why is it creating a horizon? Why is love on the horizon for Aries? It's because there is a hidden boon coming around, and it's slow coming, but it surely is coming. The Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles indicates new commitments, new beginnings, new gravity, new, I want to say, a type of new intimacy with a potential other. Which other? I'm not sure what it is. There may be someone new coming into your life, and they're not entirely expressing with, they may be holding back, but obviously still offering physical suggestion to you, Aries. And this may come through, a type of reunion with your potential other after a time of heartbreak. However, this heartbreak is not really still sort of, okay, how is Aries essentially, it doesn't settle with me. I want to figure out how to move away from this heartbreak, because obviously there is a moving. In fact, there might be already sort of, this is in the past sort of thing. But because it's in the present position, I think not so much. There's still this on your mind, and I want to figure out how to, why is the mind affecting the heart in this matter? In this, yeah, okay. I see. Because there was burden. In the Ten of Swords, there was burden, and there was a sort of setting down in the past cycle you had with this person, the twin or the soul or your partner or ex-partner. There was a burden set down, a whole cycle that finished on the mental plane, and it really sort of messed with your relationship. But the burden was set down. That's the good part. The Ten of Swords energy. This indicates surrendering of karma. If there was a third party situation, this indicates an end with them and a movement towards you, Aries, potentially. Or if you were in a karmic situation, an end of that and a sort of potential reparation of the current sort of dynamic you have with your soulmate energy here. But I want clarification on this. Let's see why is there all this sword energy here, and how to help Aries move away from this sword energy. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this indicates transformation. The Death card, Major Arcana 13 in the Crowley deck. Death is good to have. Why? Well, with this card in particular, I see Scorpio. Okay, this is the first Major Arcana. So it might be that you're dealing with a Scorpio or dealing with someone who has Scorpio in their placement, either Moon, Venus. And if we're dealing with Venus, compared with Venus, your Venus, you might have a Venus in Aries. And the interesting thing about two Venuses in Aries, well, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that astrologically, with Scorpio, there's a co-rulership. There's Pluto, if I'm not mistaken, Pluto, and there is Mars. And Mars is your ruler, Aries. There's a co-rulership there within the 12 zodiac signs, and Scorpio and Aries share Mars, which is the planet of drive, ambition, war, military, conquest, and like domination and order, kind of like the emperor. So there is a sense of disorder here and chaos that came from the mind and the heart, and essentially a transformation of that energy, if you so choose to use it, for great change. And I'm talking to a specific number of you, Aries. There is a need to consummate to the act of sexual healing, a transformation of energy that has been dormant and has been enslaved under the shackles of the mind, the heart of the matter, and the cups energy of it, and the intimacy that has been showing up in the previous part of the spread, may be expressed greatly through the act of spiritual union, through the act of union through physical body. And not only that, there is the etheric body that is set free through the transformation that can be found through sexual healing. Very beautiful card to have here, and it comes in the upright. You probably know about this, dear Aries, but the thing is that if you don't have Scorpio in your chart, it might be hard for you to transmute the energy of your normal forte, which is passion, and go deeper into the watery aspects of Scorpio and Pisces energy. Okay, so what I can recommend is, or what I'm seeing as a sort of guiding factor, take it or leave it, is to take the Two of Cups energy, work fairly on the horizons, and see if there are potential others who are open to your communication style, which your communication style is quite aggressive, and for the most part, I wouldn't say passionate at this point, but certainly aggressive. You have an aggressive stance of communicating, and your sexual sort of power, dear Aries, this month is quite strong. You come out as quite alluring and perhaps dark, and perhaps full of angst because of the relationship complexion that has happened. And your heart space isn't open, but what you are looking for potentially is the vehicle of liberation through sexual healing, and that is through someone that you're looking for. Someone that you're looking for has this depth and complexity that is passionate, that is alchemical, that is you're looking for someone to change you in a very deep and transformative way, change the energies that define your neural capacities, and help relax and create new ways of thinking for you through union, through real union, through spiritual union with someone else, through the tantric aspects of sexual union. Okay. Why? Okay, interesting. That just wanted to come out without any sort of question. Okay, Aries, how to handle this card in particular? I'm going to step it up and around here. We have the Three of Pentacles here. Three of Pentacles is an interesting card. And on top there is the symbol of Mars. Okay? So there is something that you didn't resonate in with this reading, which is interesting because the card was forced out and I wasn't asking questions. There may have been people that just dropped out of the reading. And that's fine. I'm not saying good riddance, I'm saying hello. There is an interesting dynamic, a power dynamic, in which you are looking to establish, dear Aries, a type of hierarchy with a potential other. This is a dynamic that you would like to spearhead in order to create structures of the relationship that work. Okay, this is the card of work because there is an order as opposed to the disorder that has happened on an intellectual plane or on the plane of communications that has been really jarring on your heart. And there's also two hearts here that show up in your spread that have been wrecked by communication. So there's a lot of Mercury retrograde, essentially old lovers come back, and there's a difficulty and a breakdown in the synthesis and the alchemy of communication. And you really want to work on this. It's not only communication, it's intimacy. It's like meaningful contact with someone on the physical plane, meaningful exchanges that matter, and matter in such a way that they touch you in a very intimate way. And this sort of creates order in not only the relationship, but in your body. And there's also a union between divine and masculine, the divine masculine and divine feminine, plus the supreme aspect of real, profound love through the Scorpio nature that you're looking for. I would advise you to take heart. Yes, work hard, but don't rely on the normal sort of forte of communication to express what you really mean. And there is a general lack of passion that has really sort of crossed your heart and your other lover's heart, and it's been really difficult for you. And you're searching for an emotional outlet through intimacy this month. All right, Aries, one more card for the general sort of underscoring energy for the month. And we have here a very important card for you because it brings back passion, and I think there might be a need for you to feel less alone and in some sort of union with another person, and you're working towards the Four of Rods, and this has been coming up in a number of my readings, including the Cancer reading. I think it was Cancer. No, yeah, potentially Cancer. The Four of Rods is a beautiful card, and it's about a union. It's about bringing together, someone really special in order to to balance you out, really, because I mean, there's a sacred fire manifestation burning in you, and you want to share it with someone who's really soft and aesthetically beautiful and expressive and communicative. And you want to express this fire with your potential other, if this is a twin or a soul, twin soul, whatever, what have you, a partner, someone, a human fucking being, okay? That's what you want. Someone you can just spin that wheel of fire again and reignite the star of creation that lies dormant within you and is wanting to come out again. And this really touches me because I feel you. But don't let the fire like get too hot because communication is going to be really rough for you this month. Like, take it easy and just like let the fire burn like a candle as opposed to a gigantic bonfire. Yeah, there's also if you're reading anything right now, I would suggest to put it down. Just set it down during Mercury retrograde and look deep within and find out how to create order again through intimacy. All right, Aries, I really appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes. Once again, it's Ron, Tarot of the Twin Sun. Have a lovely, lovely July and embrace it. Ciao.